Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, let's learn about the function of criticism at the present times by Matthew Arnold. The period of Matthew Arnold is from 1822 to 1888. He is the Victorian poet and a critic, and he was the first modern critic and called as the critique's critique. He views literary criticism as to know the best things which is considered as best in the world, and by this one can create fresh ideas. He has influenced many critics such as T.S. Eliot, F.R. Lewis, and Ellen Tate. Matthew Arnold, through his touchstone method, he founded a sociological school of criticism and introduced scientific objectivity to critical evaluation. In this, he provides the two primary tools of criticism. Number one, comparison. Number two, analysis. Let's look about this essay, The Function of Criticism at the Present Time. This was written and published in his first collection of critical writing called Essays in Criticism in the year 1865. In this essay, Arnold deals with interpreting the criticism and his critique of writers who write political or religious ideas by the influence with literature by narrowing its scope. Let's see the first part, idea versus reality. Arnold starts the essay by saying, of the literature of France and Germany, as of the intellect of Europe in general, the main effort for now, many years, has been a critical effort, the endeavor in all branches of knowledge, theology, philosophy, history, art, science, to see the object as in itself it really is. And he also adds, false and malicious criticism had better never been made. Now look at the explanation of these lines. In these lines, Arnold explains the basic responsibility of any critic. According to him, a critic must perceive any object, a task or work as it is, without thinking about any other conditions. Thus, for him, the text should be the whole, and a critic should never take the help of any other text for its explanation. In the following lines, Arnold disapproves the false criticism. False criticism means some ideas which is not original and is influenced from somebody's work. Arnold believes that the creator of any text is greater than its critique because creative activity is the true function of a man. However, he says it is the critic who can bring out the true meaning of that particular work of literature by criticizing. According to Arnold, to produce a great literary work, two things are important. Number one, the power of man. Number two, the power of moment. If any one of them lack these skills, then a great work of literature will never be produced. To describe this, Arnold takes the example of the two poets, Goethe and Byron. Goethe and Byron are the Harvard classics. Goethe was a German poet, playwright, novelist, scientist, statesman, theatre director, and a critic. Goethe is considered to be the greatest German literary figure of the modern era. Lord Byron was an English poet and a peer. Peer means a member of the top level of the British society. Lord Byron is one of the leading figures of the Romantic movement. Byron is regarded as the greatest English poets. Arnold says both Goethe and Byron had great productive power, yet the work of Goethe is more productive than that of Byron because Goethe's period was rich in cultural background, whereas Byron's period lacked the rich cultural background. Similarly, he says Shakespeare was not a deep reader. His fame and glory were only because his age had a climate. Climate means the general opinions that people have at a particular time. Next, he says that the French Revolution, with writers like Rousseau and Voltaire, was more powerful than the English Revolution of Charles. However, the English Revolution is less successful than the French Revolution. It's because French Revolution quits the intellectual sphere and rushed into the political sphere. The French Revolution was followed by epoch of concentration, which is a period of single-mindedness which could not last long, as it was followed by epoch of expansion. Epoch of expansion is a period of creative ideas. The works written on the French Revolution, example like Edward Brooke, are great and well appreciated, but they influence combining politics with thought. Let's see the next part of this essay, use of disinterestedness. Arnold moves towards the nature of the critique, that is, thoughts and work. According to him, a critique must maintain a position of disinterestedness, meaning keeping distance from the practical view of things in order to know the best that is known and considered in the world. This thought may help the critique to create a true and fresh idea. Arnold explains the task of a critique in three ways. Number one, a critique must know all about life and the world before writing. A critique must see the things as they are. Number two, a critique should share his ideas to others and make use of the best ideas prevailing in the society. Number three, a critique must create an atmosphere for the creation of genius ideologies in the future by promoting noble, honest, and true ideas. Arnold also criticizes the literature of the Victorian age. According to him, Victorian age is a failure of criticism due to the division of society and intellectuals into small political and religious groups. Arnold makes some examples of various works of literature which were written to promote the writer's own political agendas. He lists some magazines as example. The Edinburgh Review represents views of the Whigs. The Quarterly Review represents views of Tories. The British Quarterly Review represents the views of political disserts, and the Times represents the views of the rich Englishman. On the other hand, he also criticizes the constructive criticisms presented by Bishop Conso and Miss Coe. According to him, these men have religious influence in their writings, which is again against the spirit of true criticism. He also tells the common man lacks creativity. In the next part, he talks about the duty of criticism. Arnold says that criticism must maintain its independence from the practical spirit. Any criticism should have patience and not hurry on to the goal because of its practical importance. In this essay, The Function of Criticism at the Present Times, Arnold talks about a person who regrets the loss of zeal. Zeal means great energy or enthusiasm. He says the enthusiasm and motivation once existed, but it is no longer present in the contemporary society due to the influence of political and religion ideas. Thus, he supports the common man's views to enhance the glory of the past. He advises the critics to adopt disinterested behavior towards criticism. Any critique must consider a foreign thought as well. Their judgments should be from their own mind without any influence and should communicate fresh knowledge to their readers. The criticism is capable of creating a perfect Euro. Towards the end of the essay, he defends his views on criticism and says that he won't change his opinion from anyone who deviates from his theory of criticism. I hope this video helped you. If so, do subscribe, share and like this video. You got the notes for this essay in the link given below. Thank you.